I've heard my constituents, and they don't want a liberal running the House. They want a conservative. I'm going to vote for the person that will allow me to best represent my constituents. I've already voted to repeal a portion of it, and I won't stop there. And anyone who tells you otherwise is just downright lying to you. I'm the most independent member of Congress, and what I try to do is bring people together to make good things happen for our country. I'm Bobby Bright, and I approve this message, and I sure hope you do too.
I'm Bill Owens, and I approve this message.
Wall Street people sure know how to lie with numbers. Bill Owens didn't vote with Nancy Pelosi 93% of the time. He voted with the Republican leader 63% of the time. And Bill Owens strengthened Medicare with better prescription drug coverage. Matt Doheny wants to replace Medicare with private vouchers and reduce benefits. He promoted it with his own money. And Matt Doheny said he wants to cut Social Security benefits too. Matt Doheny won't stand up for us.
I'm Jim Marshall, and I approve this message.
Georgia is a long way from San Francisco, and Jim Marshall is a long way from Nancy Pelosi. Jim Marshall doesn't support Nancy Pelosi. He voted the same as Republican leaders 65% of the time. Jim Marshall worked and voted against Pelosi's $1 trillion health care bill because we can't afford it. And Jim Marshall is endorsed by the NRA, Right to Life, and the Chamber of Commerce. They wouldn't have anything to do with a Nancy Pelosi supporter.
When President Obama and Nancy Pelosi pressured Chet Edwards, Chet stood up to them and voted no against their $1 trillion health care bill and no to cap and trade. Chet votes with the conservative Chamber of Commerce 67% of the time. And when Washington liberals wanted to take away our guns, Chet said no. That's why the National Rifle Association has endorsed Chet Edwards over Bill Flores.
I'm Chet Edwards, and I approve this message.
The city of New Orleans has had its trials, but you've also had great champions, fighting to see you through the tough times. Cedric Richmond is one of those champions. From coaching and mentoring kids who grew up like he did, to passing tax credits to help New Orleans businesses get back on their feet after Katrina, Cedric's always been there, making a difference for the community. New Orleans needs Cedric Richmond in Congress, and so do I. I hope you'll give Cedric your vote.
I'm Cedric Richmond, and I approve this message.
Now, Blanche's opponent is not saying much now. Have you noticed that? That's because he's depending on you to be mad. So he hopes that you will forget that he voted for a Republican budget to privatize Medicare. That since he first ran for Congress, he said we should privatize Social Security. You got a woman here who's produced for you over and over and over again, and who never shuts the door, always thinks we can do better.
I'm Blanche Lincoln, and I approve this message.
I'm not a witch. I'm nothing you've heard. I'm you. None of us are perfect, but none of us can be happy with what we see all around us. Politicians who think spending, trading favors, and backroom deals are the ways to stay in office. I'll go to Washington and do what you'd do. I'm Christine O'Donnell, and I approve this message. I'm you. I didn't go to Yale. I didn't inherit millions like my opponent. I'm you. I know how tough it is to make and keep $1. When some tried to push me from this race, they saw what I was made of. And so will the Senate if they try to increase our taxes one more dime. I'm Christine O'Donnell, and I approve this message. I'm you.